Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm here with the coach Андреаса Пистиолиса, and yeah, we're gonna talk about the second game of Euroleague quarterfinals, CSKA against Baskonia. And coach, my first question is, how do you plan to defend the second game against Larkin? Because he was really scoreless in the first half, and it was a great defense by CSKA. You basically almost collapsed on him in the paint, and he couldn't even kick out, because usually, you know, if he drives, he usually kicks the passes. Do you plan to do the same D against him? Because I think he's going to be more aggressive at the beginning of the game. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I understand the tendency people have to specialize it on players, but first of all, I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but it's really important for us to stop the whole team, to stop Baskonia. We cannot just focus on Larkin, because like you said, we did have I believe overall we had a good defense, and he just scored his points in a very short period of time that we were not consistent, and this is our main focus. We have to keep the same game plan, have some adjustments on some flaws we had on our execution actually of the game plan. But the thing is that still, even though he didn't perform well, in my opinion, overall in the game, they still managed to score a lot of points and get a very good offensive performance in this game. So we really have to have a strategy and a defense and respect on Larkin, but this will not be at the expense of allowing the whole of the team to score and get productive. The main thing is consistency. We need consistency on our game plan, and we need to follow what we practiced on throughout the game.
Yeah, that's what I noticed that later on the game, you began kind of double team him at the beginning of the game, like you know, hedge out, the big guys hedging out, and later, like at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, a couple of moments he was playing like one-on-one ISO, and that's why he scored, like, because he can score one-on-one, and when you know, like put two guys on him, he like has a problem.
Well, actually, you know, it's first of all, this is not just it's an action and reaction. Actually, what happens in the game, and you cannot go in a series, you cannot even go in a whole game following the same strategy. At some point, your opponent adjusts. Either the opponent coach is doing the adjustment or the player is doing the adjustment. So you have to mix it up. And a lot of times it's not just about him, it's about who else is in the court and what else they're doing. So you have to have some different situation in order to contain the team, like I said. And this sometimes, you know, you have to decide what you're going to sacrifice and what you're going to risk from, because you cannot possibly cover every angle of the game.
Yeah, for sure. The key actually was the turnovers, because Baskonia had 20 turnovers in the game and CSKA had 14. How did you force them to do this? Like those 20 turnovers, that is a big number actually for the playoffs games. And do you think that you can do the same thing in the second game? What are the differences that it can be in the second game about turnovers?
Well, like I said, their turnovers is a big part of our how our defense behaved most of the game. So we forced a lot of bad situations. We got them in a lot of situations out of their mindset and what they try to do in the game. I don't expect that we're going to have again the same number of turnovers in the game, but you know, there is another coaching part, something that we measure, like forcing them in bad decisions, like making them have bad shots, let them have some situations they're not comfortable with, some bad selections that even though it doesn't count like a turnover, it's for us a forced situation that we get them to do something they're not comfortable with. So that's what we're going to try to do. Even if we don't get turnovers, make them have not their game, make them something different than what they know how to do.
And another key is it is a offensive rebounds for CSKA. Kyle did a great job, and basically the whole team did a great job. That was like one of the best performances from CSKA on the offensive board, like through the whole season.
Actually, our guide for that part was the first game over here in the regular season, where we really dominated the rebounds, especially in the first half of the game of the regular season. We really dominated. It was one of our best games on that part. And we're really focusing on that part because we know Baskonia is a really strong team on the rebounds, and we really need to win this battle. So this is something hopefully we can repeat on the next game. Because if we give them this hustle points, this situation on the rebound, then it's going to be a really ugly situation for us. Even though if you can get some good defenses, the good defense has to end on a defensive rebound first of all, which is our main concern, the defensive rebound that we have to get. And on the other hand, if you manage offensively every miss that you make to make it not count by getting the offensive rebound and repeating your offenses would be great. But for us, it's more important to dominate the defensive rebound and not give them the second chances than to focus on the offensive rebound.
They actually not a great shooting team, and you allow them to score, like to shoot from the 3 points, and they made it with a great percentage. By the way, they scored 44% from the 3-point range. I don't know. This is not the first time this season, but they really, like. They're not so consistent at that point. Is that, like, again, your strategy to allow them to go under the screens, to contain with the bigs, let them shoot?
No, actually, our problem in this game was not the number of shots they take, but the situations they shoot from. We allowed easy shots, we allowed open shots, and we allowed spot shots. This is not what we want, definitely.
Oh, okay.
We did get punished on a specific player, score some shots is the only player we risked a little bit his shot. We respect the player a lot, but we counted on his hesitation on that shot, but we got punished on that. But on the rest, some shots they got some open spot shots. That was some mistakes that were made defensively. We got punished on that, but it's not our intention to allow spot shots, especially spot shots, to be executed wide open.
And the last part, I want to ask you to draw a play. Like, how do you see they playing when Larkin got the ball over there on the right wing, and they put the back screen and number 3 or somewhere, they go under the screen. They play maybe a side pick or something over there. You just
talking about their offense?
Yes, their offense.
Well, their offense is going to be really difficult to explain or draw on that, because this is probably one of the most complicated playbooks we faced this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this team is not only has a lot of plays and a lot of variation and a lot of options on their plays, but they have really different plays than any other team in Euroleague. I mean, usually when you anticipate a play coming, you can give a reference to the player according to some play that you play or some situation they face a lot. But with Baskonia, that's not the case. It's very difficult to predict what they're going to play, what their playbook is going to be. Makes them really tough to scout. But on the other hand, this creates also some problem for them. But scouting-wise, it's almost impossible to say what they're going to run on their playbook and what they're going to run in, how they're going to choose to attack. You're just going to have to focus on what they want to do, like who is the player that want to get the ball, in what situation this player want to get the ball. But the play is almost impossible actually to predict and anticipate what's going to happen on that.
It is really tough to play against that opponent.
So I mean, it depends. Do you execute that well? No matter what. I mean, sometimes we play some teams that just run one straight pick and roll and they do it so well and it's almost impossible to defend. And sometimes other teams have situation which is impossible to predict, and yet you get them because they don't execute it well. So it's a matter of execution and not so much a matter of play.
Thank you very much. I hope we get a like tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.